One of the most powerful ways to heal yourself and find peace comes from Louise Hay's teachings. Her ideas have the power to completely change your life forever. The best part? It's not about learning complicated techniques or strategies that require a lot of work. Instead, it's all about changing how you think and who you become on the inside. This simple shift in your thoughts can make a huge difference in your life, bringing you more happiness, health, and inner peace than you ever thought possible. Louise Hay discovered something amazing. Our thoughts are like magic wands that shape our lives. If you've been feeling stuck, unhappy, or even physically unwell, the answer might be simpler than you think. By changing your thoughts, you can change everything around you. It's like having a superpower that's been inside you all along, just waiting to be used. Here's the thing. If you don't change your thoughts, your life won't change. It's that simple. Think about it like this. If you always think, "I'm not good enough," life will keep showing you situations where you feel not good enough. It's like you're telling the world, "Hey, show me more reasons why I'm not good enough." And the world listens. But what if you could flip that around? What if you could start thinking, "I am worthy and capable," and see how life starts to show you all the ways that's true? That's the magic of Louise Hay's teachings. She showed us that our thoughts are like seeds we plant in our lives. Plant good thoughts, and good things grow. Plant negative thoughts, and well, you can guess what happens. Now you might be thinking, "That sounds great, but how do I actually do it?" Don't worry, I've got you covered. Later in this video, I'm going to share a simple exercise that Louise Hay used herself. It's something you can start doing today, right after watching this video. This exercise has the power to start shifting your thoughts and, as a result, your whole life. Let's dive deeper into Louise Hay's main idea. Your thoughts create your life. It might sound too simple to be true, but stick with me here. Louise taught that our thoughts are like mirrors. Whatever we think about ourselves and the world around us, that's exactly what we'll see reflected back in our lives. Here's a simple example to help you understand. Imagine two people walking down the same street. One person is thinking, "The world is a dangerous place. People can't be trusted." The other is thinking, "The world is full of kind people and exciting opportunities." Now, who do you think is more likely to notice a friendly smile from a stranger or discover a fun new coffee shop? That's right, the second person. It's not that their worlds are actually different. It's that their thoughts are guiding what they notice and experience. This is why Louise Hay stressed so much that our inner world shapes our outer world. The thoughts we think, the beliefs we hold, and the words we say to ourselves are constantly creating our reality. It's like we're all walking around with our own personal movie projector in our heads, projecting our thoughts onto the screen of our lives. But here's the exciting part. If you don't like the movie you're seeing, you can change it. You have the power to change the script, adjust the lens, and create a whole new story for your life. And that's exactly what Louise Hay's teachings help us do. Think about areas in your life where you're not happy. Maybe it's your job, your relationships, or your health. Now consider what thoughts you have about those areas. Are you constantly thinking about how much you hate your job, how lonely you are, or how your body always lets you down? Those thoughts are shaping your experience. But what if you started to think differently? What if, even when things aren't perfect, you chose to focus on thoughts like, I'm grateful for the good parts of my job, or I'm open to new loving relationships, or my body is always doing its best to support me. It might feel strange at first, almost like you're pretending. But remember, you're not denying reality. You're choosing to focus on more positive aspects of it. And as you do this consistently, you'll start to notice changes in how you feel and what you experience. Louise Hay often said, "It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed." This simple idea is incredibly powerful. It means that no matter what's happening in your life right now, you have the ability to start creating something different. Your thoughts are the paintbrush, and your life is the canvas. You get to choose what picture you want to paint. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but my negative thoughts just come automatically. I can't control them. And you're right to a point. We all have negative thoughts sometimes. The key is not to never have a negative thought. It's to recognize when we're having one and then choose to shift it. It's like changing the channel on a TV. You might not control what shows are on, but you can definitely choose which channel to watch. Louise Hay's teachings aren't about forcing yourself to be positive all the time. That's not realistic or even healthy. Instead, it's about becoming aware of your thoughts and then gently guiding them in a more positive direction. It's about treating yourself with kindness and understanding, even when you're having a tough time. As we go through the rest of this video, we're going to explore specific ways to put these ideas into practice. You'll learn how to recognize negative thought patterns, use positive affirmations, practice self-love and forgiveness, connect your thoughts to your body, and create new beliefs about yourself and the world. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you catch a negative thought and choose to think something more positive instead, you're rewiring your brain and reshaping your life. It's a journey, and it takes time, but the results can be truly life-changing. Louise Hay's own life was a powerful testament to these ideas. She overcame a difficult childhood, healed herself from cancer, and went on to help millions of people around the world find healing and peace. If she could do it, you can too. Your journey to a happier, healthier life starts with your very next thought. So, are you ready to discover the power of your thoughts? Are you ready to start creating a life filled with more joy, love, and peace? Let's continue this journey together and explore how you can put Louise Hay's wisdom into practice in your own life. Now that we understand how our thoughts shape our reality, let's talk about the first key step in Louise Hay's teachings: recognizing negative thought patterns. This might sound simple, but it's actually a skill that takes practice. Most of us have negative thoughts running through our heads all day long, but we're so used to them that we don't even notice. Think of it like background music in a store. It's playing all the time, but unless you consciously pay attention, you might not even realize it's there. Our negative thoughts are often like that. They're playing in the background of our minds, affecting how we feel and act, but we're not always aware of them. So, how do we start noticing these thoughts? Louise Hay suggested we become observers of our own minds. This doesn't mean judging your thoughts or trying to force them to change right away. It just means paying attention. You might be surprised by what you notice. I'm not good enough. Bad things always happen to me. I'll never be able to do that. Nobody likes me. I'm too old, young, fat, thin, etc. to do what I want. Do any of these sound familiar? Most of us have some version of these thoughts running through our heads at times. The problem is, when we think these thoughts over and over, we start to believe them. And remember, what we believe, we create in our lives. Here's a simple way to start noticing your thoughts. Set an alarm on your phone to go off every hour. When it does, take a moment to ask yourself, what was I just thinking? Don't try to change the thought yet. Just notice it. You might want to write it down in a notebook or on your phone. As you do this, you might start to see patterns. Maybe you notice that you always think negatively about yourself when you look in the mirror. Or perhaps you have a lot of worried thoughts about money. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to changing them. Now here's something important. When you start noticing your negative thoughts, don't beat yourself up about them. That's just creating more negativity. Instead, try to be curious. Where did this thought come from? Is it really true? How does it make you feel when you think it? Louise Hay often talked about how many of our negative thoughts come from things we were told as children or experiences we had when we were young. But just because we've been thinking something for a long time doesn't mean it's true or that we have to keep thinking it. Remember, the goal at this stage is just to become aware. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what's actually there, instead of what you imagined was there in the dark. This awareness is powerful because it gives you the chance to make a change. As you practice noticing your thoughts, you might be surprised by how many negative ones you have. Don't worry, this is normal. Most people are shocked when they first start paying attention to their thoughts. The good news is, now that you're aware of them, you can start to change them. In the next section, we'll talk about one of Louise Hay's most powerful tools for changing negative thoughts, positive affirmations. But for now, just focus on noticing. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind throughout the day. Notice how they make you feel and how they might be affecting your actions and your life. Remember, you're not your thoughts. You're the one who notices your thoughts. This simple shift in perspective can be incredibly freeing. It means that you have the power to choose which thoughts you want to believe and act on. So, start today. Become a detective of your own mind. Notice those negative thought patterns without judging them. This awareness is the first step on your journey to healing and inner peace. And trust me, it's a journey worth taking. Now that you're getting better at noticing your thoughts, let's talk about one of Louise Hay's most powerful tools for changing them, positive affirmations. Don't worry if you're not sure what affirmations are. We're going to break it down and make it super simple. So, what exactly are affirmations? They're simply positive statements that you repeat to yourself. They're like planting new, healthy seeds in the garden of your mind. Just like you might water and care for plants in a real garden, you nurture these positive thoughts by repeating them regularly. Louise Hay believed strongly in the power of affirmations because she saw how they could literally rewire our brains. You see, our brains are amazing and adaptable. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. It's just a fancy word for how our brains can change and grow throughout our lives. When we repeat positive affirmations, we're creating new neural pathways in our brains. It's like carving out new positive grooves for our thoughts to follow. Now, you might be wondering, why did Louise Hay think affirmations were so important? Well, remember how we talked about our thoughts creating our reality? Affirmations are a way to consciously choose the thoughts we want to think. Instead of letting those old, negative thoughts run on autopilot, we're actively choosing to think something positive. I love and approve of myself. I am worthy of love and respect. My body is always doing its best to keep me healthy. I choose to think thoughts that make me feel good. I am safe and all is well in my world. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but these aren't true. How can I say these things when I don't believe them? This is a common concern, and it's a good question. The thing is, affirmations aren't about stating what's already true. They're about stating what you want to be true. They're about choosing a new way of thinking and, as a result, creating a new reality. Think of it like this. If you're learning to play basketball, you don't start by saying, "I can't do this. I'll never be good at basketball." Instead, you might tell yourself, "I'm getting better at basketball every day." It might not feel true at first, but as you practice and improve, it becomes true. Affirmations work the same way. So how do you create your own affirmations? Louise Hay suggested starting with the negative thoughts you've noticed. Then, create an affirmation that's the opposite. For example, if you often think, "I'm not good enough," your affirmation might be, "I am more than good enough exactly as I am." Identify a negative thought you often have. Create a positive statement that's the opposite of that thought. Make sure your affirmation is in the present tense, as if it's already true. Repeat your affirmation several times a day, especially when you notice the negative thought coming up. Now, here's something important. When you first start using affirmations, they might feel fake or uncomfortable. This is normal. Remember, you're creating new thought patterns, and that can feel strange at first. Louise Hay often said that if an affirmation feels too unbelievable, you can start with something like, "I'm willing to believe that affirmation." For example, "I'm willing to believe that I am worthy of love and respect." It's also important to feel your affirmations, not just say them. Try to really connect with the positive feeling behind the words. You might even want to look in a mirror when you say your affirmations, making eye contact with yourself. This can feel a bit silly at first, but it's a powerful way to connect with the affirmation. Louise Hay recommended saying affirmations many times a day. You might want to write them down and put them where you'll see them often, on your mirror, on your fridge, or as the background on your phone. The more you repeat them, the more natural they'll start to feel. Remember, using affirmations isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on positive possibilities. It's about training your mind to look for the good, to believe in your own worth and potential. As you use affirmations, pay attention to how you feel. You might notice that certain affirmations really resonate with you, while others don't feel quite right. That's okay. This is your journey, and you get to choose the affirmations that work best for you. Also, be patient with yourself. Changing thought patterns takes time. It's like learning a new language. At first, it feels awkward and difficult, but with practice, it becomes more natural. Give yourself time to learn this new language of self-love and positivity. Using affirmations is a powerful way to start reshaping your thoughts and, as a result, your life. As Louise Hay often said, the point of power is always in the present moment. Each time you choose a positive affirmation over a negative thought, you're using that power to create a brighter, happier future for yourself. So, why not start right now? Take a moment to think of one positive affirmation you'd like to begin using. Say it to yourself a few times. How does it feel? Remember, this is just the beginning. As you continue to use affirmations, you'll likely start to notice changes in how you feel, how you act, and even how the world responds to you. In the next section, we'll explore another crucial aspect of Louise Hay's teachings, the practice of self-love and forgiveness. But for now, keep working with your affirmations. You're already on your way to creating positive change in your life. Now that we've explored the power of affirmations, let's dive into something that was at the very core of Louise Hay's teachings: self-love and forgiveness. This might sound simple, but for many of us, it's one of the hardest things to do. We're often our own harshest critics, holding on to guilt, shame, and resentment that can keep us stuck in negative patterns. Louise Hay believed that loving yourself was the key to healing every area of your life. She often said, "You've been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens." This idea might feel strange at first, especially if you're used to being hard on yourself. But give it a chance. The results can be truly life-changing. So, what exactly does self-love mean? It's not about being selfish or thinking you're better than others. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you'd offer to a good friend. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and choosing to be on your own side. Here's a simple self-love exercise that Louise Hay recommended. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes and say, "I love you, your name. I really, really love you." How does that feel? For many people, it feels uncomfortable or even silly at first. That's okay. Keep doing it anyway. Over time, it can become a powerful practice for building self-love. Forgiveness is another crucial part of this process. And it's not just about forgiving others, it's about forgiving yourself too. Louise Hay believed that holding on to resentment and anger was like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only hurts you in the end. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean saying that what happened was okay. It doesn't mean you have to let harmful people back into your life. It simply means choosing to let go of the anger and hurt so that you can move forward. It's a gift you give yourself, not the other person. Here's a forgiveness exercise you can try. Think of someone you're holding resentment towards. It could be yourself. Take a deep breath and say, "I forgive you. I release you. I set myself free." Repeat this several times, really feeling the words as you say them. You might find tears coming up or feelings of anger. That's all okay. Just keep breathing and repeating the words. Remember, self-love and forgiveness are practices. They're not something you do once and then you're done. It's an ongoing process of choosing love over fear, acceptance over judgment. As you practice, you might notice that you start feeling lighter, more peaceful. You might find it easier to let go of old hurts and to treat yourself with kindness. Louise Hay often said that inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. By practicing self-love and forgiveness, you're taking back that control. You're choosing peace and love no matter what's happening around you. As you continue on this journey, be patient and gentle with yourself. Loving yourself and practicing forgiveness can bring up a lot of emotions. That's normal, and it's part of the healing process. Trust that as you continue to choose love, things will get easier. You're doing important work, and every step forward is a victory. Now, let's explore another fascinating aspect of Louise Hay's teachings: the connection between our thoughts and our physical health. Louise strongly believed that our minds and bodies are deeply connected, and that our thoughts and beliefs can have a big impact on our physical well-being. This idea might sound a bit strange if you're not used to it. After all, we often think of our bodies as separate from our minds. But think about it. Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous? Or a headache when you're stressed? These are simple examples of how our thoughts and emotions can affect our bodies. Louise Hay took this idea further. She believed that many physical ailments were connected to specific thought patterns or emotional issues. For example, she thought that problems with the throat might be connected to difficulty expressing yourself, or that back pain might be linked to feeling unsupported in life. Now, it's important to note that this doesn't mean you should ignore medical advice or that all health problems are caused by your thoughts. Louise Hay always encouraged people to work with doctors and use all available treatments. Her ideas were meant to complement, not replace, medical care. So how can you start exploring this mind-body connection in your own life? One simple way is through a body scan meditation. Here's how to do it. Lie down or sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, feeling your body relax. Starting at your toes, bring your attention to each part of your body, moving upwards. As you focus on each area, notice any sensations. Is there tension, pain, comfort? If you notice discomfort, take a moment to send loving thoughts to that part of your body. This practice can help you become more aware of what's going on in your body. You might start to notice patterns, like tension in your shoulders when you're stressed, or a knot in your stomach when you're worried. Louise Hay also encouraged people to talk to their bodies. It might sound silly, but give it a try. The next time you're not feeling well, try putting your hand on the affected area and saying something like, "I hear you. I'm listening. What do you need?" You might be surprised by the insights that come up. Remember, your body is always doing its best to keep you healthy. Even symptoms that seem negative are often your body's way of trying to heal or protect you. By listening to your body and treating it with love and respect, you can support your own healing process. As you practice tuning into your body, you might start to notice connections between your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. This awareness can be a powerful tool for healing. You might realize, for example, that certain negative thoughts always lead to tension in your body. Once you're aware of this, you can start to change those thought patterns and potentially reduce the physical tension too. Louise Hay believed that as we heal our thoughts and emotions, our bodies often follow suit. She saw countless examples of people improving their physical health as they worked on their mental and emotional well-being. While this isn't a guarantee, many people find that as they practice self-love, forgiveness, and positive thinking, they feel better both mentally and physically. So start listening to your body. Treat it as a wise friend who's always trying to communicate with you. As you develop this relationship with your body, you may find yourself feeling more in tune, more balanced, and healthier overall. We've talked about recognizing thoughts, using affirmations, practicing self-love and forgiveness, and listening to our bodies. Now let's tie all of this together by looking at how we can create new beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. Our beliefs are like the operating system of our minds. They're the deep-seated ideas we hold about who we are, what we're capable of, and how the world works. Often, we're not even aware of all the beliefs we hold. They're just there in the background, shaping how we see everything. Louise Hay believed that many of our limiting beliefs were formed when we were very young, based on things we were told or experiences we had. But here's the exciting part. Just because we've believed something for a long time doesn't mean we have to keep believing it. We have the power to challenge our old beliefs and create new ones that serve us better. So, how do we start creating new beliefs? The first step is to become aware of what you currently believe. Pay attention to the thoughts you have about yourself, others, and the world. You might want to write them down. Look for patterns. Do you often think things like, "Life is hard," or "I'm not good enough"? These might be clues to some of your underlying beliefs. Once you've identified some of your current beliefs, ask yourself, are these beliefs helping me or holding me back? Do they make me feel good or bad? Do they expand my possibilities or limit them? Remember, a belief is just a thought you've thought over and over until you accepted it as true. It's not necessarily a fact. Now comes the exciting part, creating new, empowering beliefs. Think about what you'd like to believe instead. What beliefs would support the life you want to live? Here are some examples of life-affirming beliefs that Louise Hay often suggested. I am worthy of love and respect. The universe is friendly and supports me. I have the power to create positive change in my life. I am always learning and growing. There is always more than enough good in my life. Once you've identified some new beliefs you'd like to adopt, write them down. Put them somewhere you'll see them often. Use them as affirmations, repeating them to yourself throughout the day. Act as if these new beliefs are already true for you. Now, here's something important to remember. Changing beliefs takes time and persistence. Your old beliefs might push back at first. You might hear that inner critic voice saying, "That's not true." When this happens, don't fight it. Just gently remind yourself that you're choosing to believe something new now. Louise Hay often used the metaphor of a garden for this process. She said our minds are like gardens, and our thoughts and beliefs are the seeds we plant. We can't just yank out the weeds, negative beliefs, that often leaves the roots intact. Instead, we focus on planting and nurturing new seeds, positive beliefs. As these new beliefs grow stronger, they naturally crowd out the old limiting ones. As you practice this, you might start to notice changes in how you feel and how you interact with the world. You might find yourself feeling more confident, more optimistic, more open to new opportunities. This is the power of changing your beliefs. it can literally reshape your experience of life. Remember, this is your journey. You get to choose what you want to believe about yourself and the world. Choose beliefs that empower you, that make you feel good, that open up possibilities for you. As Louise Hay often said, the thoughts we choose to think are the tools we use to paint the canvas of our lives. So, take some time to think about what you want to believe. Write down your new beliefs. Say them out loud. Act as if they're already true. And watch as your world begins to change to match your new empowering beliefs. This process of creating new beliefs brings together everything we've talked about: recognizing thoughts, using affirmations, practicing self-love, and listening to your body. It's all part of the beautiful journey of healing and growth that Louise Hay's teachings can guide us through. Personal experiences and testimonials. The power of Louise Hay's teachings in action. Now that we've explored the key principles of Louise Hay's teachings, let's look at how these ideas have helped real people in their lives. Sharing these stories can be incredibly powerful because they show us that change is possible, no matter where we're starting from. Let's start with Louise Hay's own story. Louise had a difficult childhood, experiencing abuse and hardship. As an adult, she struggled with depression and was diagnosed with cancer. It was during her journey to heal from cancer that she discovered the power of positive thinking and self-love. Not only did she recover from cancer, but she went on to help millions of people around the world find healing and peace. One woman, let's call her Sarah, shared how Louise Hay's teachings helped her overcome a lifelong struggle with low self-esteem. Sarah had always believed she wasn't good enough, smart enough, or pretty enough. This belief affected every area of her life, from her relationships to her career. When she discovered Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, she started practicing affirmations and mirror work every day. At first, it felt awkward and fake, but she kept at it, telling herself, I love and approve of myself every time she looked in the mirror. After a few months, Sarah noticed she was standing taller, speaking up more at work, and feeling more comfortable in her own skin. She even found the courage to leave a toxic relationship and start her own business. Sarah says, Louise Hay's teachings helped me see that I had the power to change my life all along. I just needed to change how I thought about myself. Another man, let's call him John, used Louise Hay's ideas about the mind-body connection to help with chronic back pain. John had tried various medical treatments, but nothing seemed to help long-term. When he read Louise Hay's suggestions that back pain might be connected to feeling unsupported in life, it resonated with him. He realized he'd been carrying the weight of everyone else's problems on his shoulders, never asking for help. John started using affirmations like, I am supported by life, and it's safe for me to ask for help. He also began practicing self-care and setting healthier boundaries. To his surprise, his back pain began to lessen. While he continued with his doctor's recommended treatments, John felt that addressing the emotional aspect of his pain was a crucial part of his healing journey. These stories show us that the changes we can experience through Louise Hay's teachings aren't just small or superficial. They can be truly life-changing. People have reported healing from chronic illnesses, overcoming depression and anxiety, improving their relationships, and finding success in their careers by applying these principles. It's important to note that everyone's journey is unique. The changes you experience might be dramatic, or they might be subtle. They might happen quickly or take time to unfold. The key is to be patient with yourself and to keep practicing even when it feels challenging. Many people find that as they practice Louise Hay's teachings, they start to feel more peaceful, more empowered, and more in tune with themselves. They report feeling like they can handle life's challenges better and that they're able to find joy and gratitude even in difficult times. One common theme in many testimonials is the power of self-love. People often say that learning to truly love and accept themselves was the key that unlocked everything else in their lives. As they became kinder to themselves, they found it easier to be kind to others. As they forgave themselves, they found it easier to forgive others. It's like a beautiful ripple effect of healing that spreads out into all areas of life. Remember, you can experience these positive changes too. The power to transform your life is within you, just as it was for Louise Hay and all the people who have benefited from her teachings. Your journey might look different from these stories, but it can be just as powerful and meaningful. As you continue to apply what you've learned in this video, pay attention to the changes you notice in your own life. Maybe you'll find yourself feeling more confident or more at peace. Maybe you'll notice improvements in your relationships or your health. Celebrate these changes, no matter how small they might seem. Each positive shift is a step towards the life you want to create. We've covered a lot in this video, exploring the life-changing wisdom of Louise Hay, from recognizing our thought patterns to using affirmations, practicing self-love and forgiveness, understanding the mind-body connection, and creating new empowering beliefs. We've delved into powerful tools for transformation. Remember, the core of Louise Hay's teachings is this: you have the power to heal your life. Your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality, and by changing them, you can change your entire world. It's not about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the positive, to love yourself unconditionally, and to believe in your own power to create change. As you move forward from here, be gentle with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. And like any journey, there might be ups and downs along the way. That's okay. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, every time you practice self-love instead of self-criticism, you're creating positive change in your life. Start small if you need to. Maybe begin with just one affirmation that resonates with you. Say it to yourself every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep. Or try the mirror exercise, looking into your own eyes and saying, "I love you," once a day. Choose one new empowering belief and act as if it's true for you. Remember, consistency is key. These practices are like seeds you're planting in the garden of your mind. Water them regularly with your attention and care, and watch as they grow and flourish over time. And don't forget, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of people out there who have found healing and transformation through Louise Hay's teachings. Consider joining a support group, reading more of Louise Hay's books, or working with a coach or therapist who resonates with these ideas. As Louise Hay often said, you've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. So why not start right now? Take a deep breath, Put your hand on your heart and say to yourself, I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. Feel those words. Let them sink in. You have within you everything you need to heal, to grow, to create a life filled with love, joy, and peace. Your journey to a happier, healthier life starts with your very next thought. Choose it wisely, choose it with love, and watch as your world begins to transform. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Louise Hay's powerful teachings. Remember, you are worthy of love, you are capable of change, and you have the power to create a beautiful life. Your journey to healing and inner peace starts now. Embrace it with an open heart and watch the magic unfold in your life.